Hey, what's up everybody? BitMeSum back with another live day trading video. So in today's video, we're just gonna try to go over this chart, Bitcoin chart, and we're gonna try to find a trade. Hopefully, we are currently moving up right now, and we got a few different things that we could be doing. So we're definitely gonna look into that and see what we can find and where we can go from here. So I thank you guys for watching, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments and I'll be gladly to help. Alrighty, so let's just jump right into it. So pretty much, okay, let's start from the monthly time frame. Oh yeah, if you guys remember previous videos, there was always times when we said here is the line, here's a support, maybe even poly to something like that, and even this could have been a resistance. This was the first initial resistance. Before these two candles came out, there was only this resistance. So what we were kind of finding out was that this could be the push up to this resistance. We did find some resistance right here inside of this little zone, but if you do notice, we did all right, so yeah, so the resistance came in between these two little sections. So we did have a resistance there, which technically would add that to that. But if you notice, if we close above this line, the next target would be our initial target like before. So with that being said, this is kind of why it was, no matter what was going on, we came here, came back down, probably to grab liquidity to push back up. And this is on the monthly time frame. This isn't on the daily or weekly. This is the monthly. So it's definitely going to take some time. There's 3 days left in this monthly candle. So that's a good sign. So if we definitely close above this, then that's a good sign that we're going to push up to here, which is around 34,000 it says. So we'll see. All right, so yeah, now it's on the weekly chart. I mean, as you can see, pretty much the same thing. We just kind of adjust the line. So kind of what I usually do, like I'm telling you guys, when I do my lines, you know how I find the line is there's a support there, there's a resistance there, there's a support here. So pretty much you just got to find those areas, tops and bottoms, put the line there, and then when you go down the time frame, we go from the monthly to weekly, you can adjust it to however you need it to make it fit your lines and everything. So like I was saying, the line was up here before, but if you notice, we cut through. It doesn't really help us, you know. So what you would do is you would adjust it to, now you get it, there's nothing really closing underneath it, so we have a support, and then we have a resistance underneath. So technically there's nothing closing above it or below it that's not supposed to. So that's an important line, and with that line being important, if you notice, look at exactly where we got rejected at, which is right there. So that's where our candle wick went, but we are technically closing above it. It's kind of looking like, this is on the weekly, by the way. If we close there, if you notice, we closed above that last resistance. So what this could probably be doing now is at least go back up to these areas. And if we break, well, the thing is, now our next resistance isn't up till up there. Technically on this type of thing, there is you could say there's maybe a resistance here and here, but for the most part, overall, I think something more legit would be possibly up to this next resistance. So, and if you do kind of notice, there's also another support right there. I mean, there is kind of another support right there. The only thing is that confuses me is that you see that to that is a zone right there, because if you notice, that's where the resistance happened, and then this is where the support happened. So with this resistance, and then this support connects these two levels pretty much. So that's why even if I were to switch a line here and go here, which will kind of make sense. I mean, we have this resistance support, we broke above it, have a support, came down, broke it, and you know, it kind of finds that, and it finds it like that. So it's kind of just depends on how you see your charts and things. You just gotta, you know, different methods to your madness and stuff like that. And I mean, I could even put a line right here. Also, one way too is always look left. When you look left, I put the line right here for because of that, right? Look left, there's nothing really breaking it. There's a resistance right there, nothing really breaking it. Let's see right here, look at, we have a support, and look at, this is exactly where the support and stuff is at. So that's why I say you look left, make sure you're in the right areas. That'll also help you know if you should move your line up or down or something. All right, so yeah, that's the resistance there, that's the resistance there, pretty much that. So now we could go to the daily. So with that being said, if we do close above that, our next real resistance could be this area right here. Maybe that area could be first. I mean, look at this. This is all clean traffic, so that's definitely a good sign. It's a good sign. And this is on the weekly, so let's go to the daily now. I mean, you could kind of do the same thing with the lines on the daily. Just kind of adjust your lines to your areas after doing that. You don't have to do it straight from the top. Like what I mean as in like monthly, weekly, you can do it however you like, but that's kind of what I do. I start from the monthly, weekly, and do all of those kind of things and come down. You know, they all got to make the same sense. Like I was saying, look at on the monthly, we have this closure. If we close above, we have this resistance there, so it's a chance we could be moving up. Even though our last monthly candle was bearish, we did break the highs, so that kind of flipped it. So now we go to the weekly, right? Same thing. We have this resistance here, and we have this resistance here. If we break above here, what happens? But that means we're also running into these resistance areas, so that could be something that could get rejected. You know, that's why we're kind of getting stuck at this area. But this area is important. Look at that, all of that here, 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 and even underneath here and there, which is all important. So that's what I was saying. If we break above there, there's a good chance we could continue up. So let's do the same thing with this side now. Let's find some areas around here. So look, we have this resistance here, pretty much a resistance there. I guess we could adjust it to there. That's the resistance there. And then we have this support here, have a support there. I mean, I guess we could even move it down somewhere, probably to that. I'll move it from there to there. That's a good idea. Something like that, yeah. Okay. And this is the thing too, is that I don't think anybody knows where these lines are supposed to go. As in, nobody knows the for sure answer. It's almost, you just gotta do what you think is right. Have a plan, practice it over and over, and things like that. But yeah, so what I'm kind of thinking now is, so what I mean is that if something, like if you're like, man, I'm putting these lines and it just doesn't seem like it's lining up right, what you're supposed to do is keep trying. Move it a little bit this way, move it this way, move it this way, just because eventually it'll line up. It's almost like a puzzle. If you could think of this like a puzzle, you know, this line is a piece to the puzzle. If it's right here, the puzzle's not right. I move it right here, now the puzzle's right. But now I got to figure out this puzzle piece. Where does this puzzle piece go? You know, I see some support here. I see support here. I see resistance and resistance. So how would I make it so where these two lines could mean the same thing? Also, be in good areas like that. I mean, so technically, look at, we're pushing up from this side. Let me redo this. All right, so look, we're pushing up from here, and we came down, and we broke it, came back up, came like that. So what I'm kind of thinking is that one of these areas need to be the fake out area. And what I mean by fake outs is, if you notice these two areas, if you're closing above it, what happens next? We came down, which means those are fake out areas. Whereas you wouldn't have a fake out at the bottom, because it can't be a fake out at the bottom because it continued to keep going down. Whereas in this side, we're going up, came here is the support. That's just kind of how I think about it. So the fake outs are always in the opposite direction, obviously. So if these areas are going down, it would need these two pump ups could be the fake outs that we would be wanting to wait for. But yeah, so, and like I said, this is the daily, and then this one is the one I'm kind of getting confused with. Sorry, I just had to take a breather. All right, so like I said, so this is the line that's kind of confusing me, for the reasoning that, look, we came up, we have support, came up, resistance, right? What I notice when I have this support here, when I look left, there is another support here, but then I also have this one here, and this is the one that I'm cutting through that it's confusing me. This is almost like it was like a fake out to come back up, but even the going back up was the fake out. So it was almost like a double fake out. It's kind of what I kind of see that as. Maybe that's what that means, is a double fake out. I wonder what happens when a double fake out, something like that. So we broke down, up, down. So if we're going up, we need up, up, down, up. I'm gonna have to look into that. I kind of like that idea that there's maybe something, maybe because it's on a daily time frame, maybe this could mean something. We see a massive fake out. I don't know. Who knows? This is why we learn, showing up every day. If you guys haven't found out yet, this is also the playbook that we use every single day. These are pretty much the trades we're looking for. We try not to take any other trades outside of these plays, for the reasoning that the Grandmaster himself, Don Vo, has put in countless hours of back testing to find out these plays are profitable. So with that being said, is we base our analysis off of looking for these type of setups. Left side is going up, right side is going down. If you can see that right here in the middle, there's a red line dividing them. So the right side is down, left side is up. So like I said, the top is a breakout. The gray line is pretty much the lines I'm drawing. So that's what we're waiting for. But yeah, so kind of look at, this is kind of what I have here. So I guess this could be meaningful here and here. But even you could even put a line here for the reasoning that and it just, I don't like too many lines either. I need it to look uniform. It needs to look like we know what we're doing. And the crazy thing is when that happens, that's usually when everything starts to work out. So I guess that could be this area like this. I like this area, something like that, for that reasoning that, yeah, that looks a little better. It's more of a range. When I use the boxes, it's more of a range compared to the line is more precise. Not saying the line is right, but in times that you need to kind of get a wider angle, you might need to use these boxes so you can really see the ranges. Like I said, you need to just be able to visualize and see This is a box. This is a box right here. This is a box pretty much. So with that box, you got to be able to, I mean, pretty much see it like that. Look, this is one box, and then this is a box above it. So what you need to be able to see though is that these are the boxes. And then look at right here. Okay, now here's one here, and here's one here. Here's one here. I guess you could say this one here is one, and this down here could be another smaller one, and then this right here is one. So this is how I can kind of see it in my head. So with that being said, this is what you're looking for pretty much. It's almost just like a, if you think of it like a video game. Check this. Look. All right. Look. Look. All right. So look, this is the game right here. Look, we're going up, right? And look at right here. Here's a box. Here's a box. Here's a box. And then here's a box. This type of stuff. You know what I mean? If you guys could see that. So what pretty much happens is, look, okay, we're coming down, right? Anytime we break a box, let's say we break this box right here, that's where you would take your trade at when it breaks it, because we're already coming down. If we're going in the opposite direction, see how now this way we're going up. Obviously you could make there is two levels right here, but what the idea is, you want to break two levels when going in the opposite direction. So since we're going down, in order for us to go up, we need to break two levels, two boxes. And look at, there's a box right here, there's a small one right here, and then there's a second one right there, and then a third one above it. So we obviously, look, we broke one box here, and then we broke two boxes. This is the third after the break. Whereas in stuff like this, look, we're coming down, we broke one box into the second, and then we came back down. So that's where like fake outs happen. Fake outs happen in breaking out of level 1, which is this guy. When you break out of level 1, that's where the fake outs happen that come back down to these guys. Because we're already coming down, we only need to break one level. But if we're trying to go back in the opposite direction, we need to break two levels, which is one level here, one level here, and then that's where we went up after that. So the same thing, look. And then look, we even came down. And it's just, that's just how it pretty much is like that the whole time. You're just kind of looking for boxes. So look, so when we're coming up, we broke one box. Like I said, look. Okay, now when you're going in the same direction that you're going, let's say we're going up, we only have to break one box because we're already going in that direction. So they say we're going up, we need to break two boxes going down in order to take the trade. It's in the opposite direction is 2, in the direction it's 1. So look at level 1, level 2, this is where you will be taking your trade at, going up. Boom, that's the move. Look, level 1, 2, whatever. Okay, level 1, now this one is level 2, and that's the move down you're taking. Same thing going back in the other way now. Level 1, level 2, the move up. So I'm saying you're just pretty much looking for levels. So we're over here now. This is where we're at, right? Look, we're going up. So we only need to break one level, take the trade there. Boom. Break this level, going up. Boom. Now we're coming down, right? actually look, there's only one level coming down. Going back up is the trade you would take. Now we got level 1 and level 2. This is where you'll take the trade. Pretty much just levels in the boxes. Alright, so let me put this box here back to where I had it, and then we could do something like this. Okay, so look, that's the daily, right? So the thing is though, now what I'm noticing is on this daily, we don't really have a bottom wick. What that no bottom wick tells me is that we need to grab liquidity if we're going to be moving up. So in order for us to push up higher and faster, we would have to grab liquidity first, just like this one right here. Well, what I'm saying is, let's see, okay, this big candle, this one didn't have a bottom wick either, but then this previous candle here created a resistance, and then that's where you would have taken your trade, because it would have broken that resistance, and that is where it came down to grab liquidity also with that bottom wick. So as I'm saying, if you're taking a trade just off the rip, pretty much once it breaks the level, you need a bottom wick and a top wick, pretty much like this, right? You need a top wick and a bottom wick to continue just that. But let's say you don't have a bottom wick, then what you're going to have to do is wait for a resistance to form with a top and bottom wick, just like this one. And then that's where you'll take your trade right there at this point, going up. So like I said, this one doesn't have a bottom wick, so what I'm assuming that could happen is that we could create the bottom wick, or like I said, this is all bearish still, so my bias is technically bearish, which would exactly be proving my point why we're going to come down and create a bottom wick. So even if this one, this has 6 more hours on it, so within 6 hours we're going to definitely see if it closes above this range or if it closes pretty much back into this range, which will take us back down to this support area, which is around 30,250. Current price right now is 30,700. So excuse me. All right, so let's see where another support or resistance will probably be. Somewhere maybe like here, I would suggest, because we do have that resistance and a support. So him here, it broke back up. So I mean, I guess you could even say this maybe then. Yeah, something like that would be the next area. And to go back up, we definitely need we did make a new high. So we passed yesterday's high, which was 30,600. We actually went up to 31,000 in the last day. So it's actually almost, it went up to 31,000 in the last day. Wow. Which is also kind of giving us that confirmation about So the thing is the Bitcoin on KuCoin is 30,700 pretty much, and then the Bitcoin USD on Binance US is 29,350. So it's a little bit lower on there. It's a whole $1,300 cheaper on Binance than it is on KuCoin, Tether. But maybe that's why a lot of people are trading it. Maybe that's the only reason why I'm on KuCoin, is so I can trade it. Yeah. All right, so yeah, so like I said, so with this, we're pretty much inside of the range right now. We're pretty much inside of this range. So what would happen is that it's either we're gonna need to close above it, or we're gonna close respecting this resistance, which will also probably confirm this next bottom wick before we move up, if we move up. Or we can just continue back, close back in here, resistance, respect it, and then what happens when we respected it? The last time we did, we came right back to these areas down here. It's let's see, from that area top to, let's say, the lowest it did go was 29,009 back. It went back down to 29,900 after it got rejected. So like I'm saying, if we get rejected at that point, that's what could happen, is that we could get rejected to create another new bottom wick before going back up. All right, so that's pretty much what I have on that daily. So let's go to the 4 hour. I know I've been it's been a lot, but I believe it's important. Like I said, there's a lot of new people, and I just want to make sure that we all kind of are on the same page. Because if we all trade the same, not saying you have to trade the same, but just have the idea of we all kind of trade the same, it would make it a lot easier for all of us to understand what we're all doing. Because that's where I kind of think is it's happening mostly, is that we all trade differently. And not saying it's a bad thing, but that's all why we all have different opinions. We all can't be on the same page. And just imagine if all 1,000 of us, however many of us there is, the whole bit crew all traded the exact same, and we all found new ways of getting better. But it was all through just trading the exact same. Because imagine how many, like I said, we all had the same ideas, and we all could just tackle the same dream pretty much. Whereas if everybody in the chat pretty much trades differently, we'll never be on the same page for that reason. You know, so I'm just saying that's why I try to explain it. If we all trade the same, it'll all benefit us. Which is why I think it's important. Yep. All right, let me get some lines. It might be a little tight in these areas. So that we have a line there. We have a line here. And then that to that is there, and then that to that is there, and then that to that is there. I'm wondering something like that, maybe, possibly. That's where the range kind of comes in. It's not so much just a line, it's a range. Not so much range, but it's like that right there. That's more like it. That way I could see in between it all. If we get a candle breaking this line with the top and bottom wick, with the top and bottom wick, it's a little sloppy. This is where we'll be taking our trade pretty much at the close of that. When the next candle that opens, it'll open up right here, and then it's gonna create a top wick, either retesting this guy or even getting as high as this to break the high before returning back down to run back down. And if you notice, our next resistance isn't until this area pretty much. So that's a big drop right there. So that's what I'm kind of waiting for right now, is something like that to happen. But that's why too I say it's important that we wait for level 1 and level 2, because this is the fake out. Because why? A level 1 break just tested that. So I mean, like I said, you could have gotten in and out, but let's say you were up here.
Losing your health coverage or welcoming someone new.
What?
Life changes. Covered California helps you find
Oh, my bad. That was an ad. Made me lose my train of thought. Oh yeah. So like I was saying, let's say this stuff didn't happen yet, because everything from here wasn't happening yet. So don't worry about none of this. Worry about this candle right here. So if we were waiting for a break, we're like, oh, okay, look, perfect. It even looks like a level 2 itself. 1, 2. But like I said, we would have taken a trade on that candle, because why? Oh, it broke a level. It's going to test this bottom. No, it didn't test that bottom, because look at what happened right after. Boom, went right back up, took everybody's stop loss out, and then it was this one after grabbing liquidity, which is way up here. Sorry, it's a little messy, but that's what I'm saying. Look at what happened to this. Like, we were like, oh, I'm gonna take the trade right here, thinking I'm gonna take it right here, taking it down to this level or something. Oh, we broke a range, we're gonna go there. But that's the problem. What happened is the fact that it only breaking level 1. This is a whole level right here. Oh, this is the level. That's the level we would have been waiting for. But like I said, that's why it's important. And even this one, when it finally did break, look at this one, had a big run to the top. So that's a lot of buying power. So even if it cooled off, when it finally did break, that's why it went back up, because there's so much buying power over there. Whereas if you look at this one, oh, we broke back up. Look at what happened. It stopped right here. So that let us know the buying volume definitely died down. And then that was the reason why when this one broke, it finally broke, and it did go down, test the bottoms, because that's why I'm thinking it happened. Because like I said, this one had a big run up. This one barely went up, barely. It did go up quite high to grab liquidity, but like I said, where we closed at, still bearish. So that's why it was a little bit weaker, and then that weakness is what did that. So but that's why I'm saying now this is just pretty much a no trade zone. All of this is no trade zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this break to happen at this bottom line. Or even if we go back up, I'm gonna wait for it to break up there, and then we're taking the trade going up and we're taking the trade going down, whichever one comes first. That's why I'm saying nobody knows where the market's gonna go, and nobody can point out, hey, it's going this way, it's going this way. Nobody knows. But if you have your zones checked out, that's how you find out where we're going. And there isn't, look at this, all clean area. There's nobody stopping us when we go above that. I mean, yeah, you could probably find something down here, like right here. Look at, this is where I'll put this line at. This would be the top of this. Pretty much the top of this guy, which would be there. Ooh. That'll be at the 32,000 area. So around their area. And then coming down where I would want to put a line. Let's see, we could probably do something like that maybe. See, right there, something like that. Alright, so this is kind of my idea. I have a buys up here. Let's see, I have a buys above closure, meaning I'm only taking a buy. Well, I'm not done yet, I'm just kind of getting it set up. But what I'm saying is you don't take a trade unless it follows your plan. Because like, if this was a hamburger, look, this would be the bun. No, this would be the meat. Pause. This would be the bun. This would be the bun. Oh, that's it. Alright, so with that being said, this meat right here is what we're not gonna trade, because the meat we they call money bread. So you want to go to the bread. You don't trade the meat. Pause. You don't trade the meat. You trade the buns. These are the buns. This is the bun. That's what we're waiting for, which is why I say there's only a sell. I'm only taking a sell below the meat. I'm only taking a buy above the meat. So with that being said, that's what I'm looking for. All right. Let me see. Now let me check this 1 hour. Let me see what this 1 hour is doing. See, look. See, now, like I said, from the 4 hour, now you go down to the 1 hour. Look at what happened with the 1 hour. We have this like little fake out before going back up. But what you would do now is you would adjust the line from the 4 hour down to there. Why? Because now you're eliminating any fake out area that could be from before. You know, so excuse me. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much the 1 hour. That's kind of had, look at down here. We could even put this here to this resistance. Perfect. Boom. And then even something like that. So, and then you could even go down to the 30. See if you see anything different on the 30, which everything's checking out, still looking nice. Everything's still inside the lines. We got a 15. See, this is where a 15 kind of needs a little bit of adjustment. Why? Because, like I said, that's a fake out area too for a 15. I don't want to get faked out. And then look at up here is a fake out going up, so I could even put it like that. All right. So I'm gonna go up right there. Boom. Perfect. Looking good, looking good. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. It's these bottom ones, but there's newer stuff down here. Yeah, I like that. Let's go there. I like that one. Oh wait, no, never mind. That was the 15. My bad. Wrong one. Yeah, we'll put it up here. Boom. Alright, and then we could even go down to the 5. The 5 is a little bit harder, but as long as things respect the 5s and things like that, it's important that we get it right. Like I said, look at this 5 minute could even move up a little bit, and if you're looking to the right side over here, I mean, it could come above or even below it like that. I kind of like that idea too, just for the reasoning that, let's see what's it looking like over here. Oh yeah, that's still nice. Perfect.